I know this is stupid and I shouldn't blame it on this, but being in a happy relationship really gets you to gain weight unless you really
monitor
yourself and how you eat and how you exercise and how many times you exercise. Ever since I met my boyfriend, his name is Sterling, it's just been a crazy ride with gaining weight. When we first started dating, I didn't want to look like a pig, so I didn't eat as much as I do now. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Krissy. I am a body positive advocate and I'm here to share my story on being a big girl. Today is going to be a little bit different. I do want to talk about something kind of important to me, but I don't know if it's important to me or not.
Is it?
I don't know. Anyways, so something very interesting about me is that obviously, you know, I am big, but over time I've gained a lot of weight. This is pretty much the sum of my life. I do want to go over my timeline just a little bit, just to kind of show you guys or let you know what I've been going through my whole entire life. When I was born, I actually don't even remember how much I weighed, but I just know I wasn't the heaviest, so I am the heaviest now, just saying. Growing up, I was always a chubby baby. In elementary school, when I started realizing that my size difference compared to everyone else, it didn't really bother me too much. I kind of had more pride in it, but it wasn't because I was fat. It was because I was tall. I was tall compared to my other classmates, and I was actually heavier, of course, because, you know, being tall, sometimes equivalent to heavy. But yeah, that was me. I was the heavy girl in elementary school. So if I can remember, my very fond memory of me realizing that I was overweight was when all my friends were like, oh my gosh, I only weigh this many pounds. And I don't remember how much that was. I think they were in their 80s. They were like 80 pounds, which makes sense, right? So I was in 4th grade and all my friends were like, oh,
yeah, I'm like 80 pounds.
and then the other girls would be like,
yeah, I'm like 80 pounds too.
And I never said my weight. I was like,
80 pounds too.
even though obviously I was bigger than them, so I don't know if they caught that, but they thought everyone was just 80 pounds until this one girl, she wasn't even fat. She came along, she was new, she was tall, and she was like, yeah, I'm like 120 pounds or something, I don't even care. And then they're like, dang! And I felt so bad for her because they were heavy shaming her. I don't even know what to call that. But yeah, so that was my first experience with being embarrassed about my weight without actually having to tell someone my weight. And then I went into middle school. I started to like boys more, and this was the time where body image was a huge thing for me. I think in high school it was a huge thing, but in middle school I was kind of like trying to find my place. And I think by the time I hit 8th grade, I was 260 pounds. Hey guys, what is up? It's Krissy. I thought I'd pause right here because I just seem so unsure of the information I'm giving you. So let me go ahead and just backtrack and give you the right info. I think by the end of 5th grade, I was weighing in about 140 to 160 pounds. By the end of 8th grade, I think I had to be weighing around 240. And then by the time I graduated, I definitely had to be in between 260 and 270 pounds. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was giving you the right information in this video. Let me stop talking and go ahead and continue it. I don't think I've ever told anyone that. When I was in middle school, I tried to compensate for being big by trying to seem like I was physically capable of doing physical things. So what I would do is in PE, they would release us after we changed into our PE clothes to go run around the field once, and then we would start with warm-ups. We would pretty much wait by the door. It would allow us to go from the locker room to the field. The teacher would just basically give us the okay to go, and when they did, I was always one of the first people to go because I wanted to make sure that I was never last running and finishing the lap. I feel like I didn't cheat in PE, but I did whatever I could to try to make it look like I was as physically fit as everyone else. When I hit high school, to me, looking back at my pictures, my stomach was kind of flat. It wasn't out. To me, I felt like I looked really good, but I still felt like I was way bigger than everyone else. In high school, I started to hit around 280, and I think that's the weight I ended high school with. So I think throughout my high school career, I gained about 20 pounds. And I remember one day, I think it was Father's Day or my dad's birthday, we were going to Red Lobster. I was walking out of the garage and I was gonna get into the car, and then we went to Red Lobster and I came back home and my sister was like, Mom was looking at your stomach when you're walking out, and she's like,
Oh no, Krissy.
my parents just feel bad for me that I was gaining weight. That was my first red flag ever about me gaining more weight than I should have. After graduating at 280 pounds, a few years later, I gained a lot more weight. I think I gained like 50 pounds, and now I am the weight that I am now, which I don't really want to disclose, but you kind of get the picture after going through my timeline. So with that being said, I want to tell you guys how I gained 100 pounds throughout my life. It's just something I want to share with you guys. Maybe you guys can avoid it, maybe you just want to listen to my story, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. One of the reasons why I gained 100 pounds is because I was actually just too comfortable. There's nothing wrong with being comfortable with yourself until you get to the point where you end up being a couch potato. I was just so happy with my life and I was just so comfortable with who I was that I never really pushed myself. If I was working out, I would just do the bare minimum, just scratch the surface. I would never actually push myself to where I would make progress with losing weight or getting more muscle. Times I would actually push myself was when I was working out with my boyfriend or working out with my brother. It just got to a point where I was so comfortable, I started to neglect what was really important. I didn't keep my health in line. I don't monitor how much I work out. I don't monitor what I eat. I don't monitor my portion control. I don't monitor, honestly, what I'm consuming. I consume what I want, but not what I need. The second reason why I gained 100 pounds throughout time is because I overate and I underworked out. I would go to the gym about 4 to 5 days a week when I was actually really dedicated, and when I would work out, I wouldn't just really do the bare minimum. I would do enough to sustain my weight for a bit, but enough for it to progressively allow me to gain weight along the way. I would eat a lot. I feel like right now the reason why I did that was because I wasn't really focused on what I was eating, especially during the times when I was really dedicated to working out. I would come home, treat myself to a post-workout meal, and then 2 hours later have a snack or something, and then 2 hours later I would eat a meal, but I would eat too much. The third reason I gained 100 pounds over time was because of many failed crash diets. I would set something up to where I would eat certain things at a certain amount of time. So I would go on a specific diet, like I've done keto, I've been vegan, I've done vegetarian, I've done pescatarian, I've done Sacred Heart diet. I've done so many diets, and the reason why it was so bad for me is because it was temporary. I tried to permanently be vegan, but it was hard because I really love meat, and being in a family that cooks meat all the time, I just couldn't resist. I have no willpower. Pretty much how the diets would go is I would start a fad diet. I would be successful at it for 2 weeks. Then when I would have my cheat days, I would binge eat. I would binge the frick out of myself and eat whatever I wanted, and I was just so comfortable eating with whatever I wanted that when I was on a diet and then I got off my diet for just a day, it wouldn't be a day, it would just be forever after that, until I was motivated enough to get onto another crash diet. So basically, it just made me feel better that I was able to eat whatever I wanted without actually having to really worry about what I was consuming, and that's why I overeat and eat whatever I want. The fourth reason why I gained 100 pounds over time, half of the weight was gained after I met the love of my life. I know this is stupid and I shouldn't blame it on this, but being in a happy relationship really gets you to gain weight unless you really monitor yourself and how you eat and how you exercise and how many times you exercise. Ever since I met my boyfriend, his name is Sterling, it's just been a crazy ride with gaining weight. When we first started dating, I didn't want to look like a pig, so I didn't eat as much as I do now. When we started to date, we would go out to eat and I would barely eat, but it was enough. Like, I didn't starve myself. I was actually just eating enough that I needed to. As more time went by in our relationship, we started having our own main date spot, which is something we always go back to if we don't want to go on a huge fancy date. We always go to IHOP. IHOP is like our go-to because it has everything for us. If I'm not feeling the breakfast, then I'll get the lunch or the dinner. If I'm not feeling lunch or dinner, I'll get the breakfast. So with IHOP being our main place, we would go there a lot. And then we started discovering more foods, and I actually opened my boyfriend up to a lot of different food places that he's never been to and that he's never tried out. When he liked it, we would go back multiple times. And when we both liked something a lot, we will go back multiple times. Going out to eat is one of our main ways of spending time together, because when we go out to eat, we like to sit down and we like to talk to each other, tell stories to each other, and just, you know, we just like to talk. While you're waiting for your food is actually a pretty good amount of time, so that's why we like it so much. And the food comes out and then we just consume, and then after that, we usually end up with like getting dessert or something, which is not something I used to do, but I do that a lot more often now. The fifth reason and the main reason why I gained so much weight throughout my life is because I do not have willpower. It's bad to say that I don't, and I should be saying that I do, so that I can set the tone for myself in the universe and just manifest what I should be, which I should be saying I am. But with willpower, it's something that I struggle with through my whole entire life. I don't have discipline. That's the word that I'm looking for. I'm the type of person who likes to be held accountable, who likes to get recognition, who likes to be rewarded. I'm that type of person. If someone's telling me like, oh, good job and stuff like that, it kind of helps boost it for me. Like when I start getting attention from people saying, oh my gosh, I see you losing weight, it really motivates me to go harder. It's not something that I really think about hard, like
I know, like I need recognition.
it's just something that I realized over time, and then I just started to think about it today, and I realized that I'm the type of person who likes to be rewarded for stuff like that. Having willpower is, I say, the main reason why I gained so much weight over time. Alright guys, well I'm all done with this video. I want to thank you so much for watching, and down below in the comments I want you to let me know what's the most weight that you've ever gained. Hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys next time.